another feature which is called the natural language processing. It is giving the capabilities for AI, for a computer to interpret written or spoken language in different languages. Different languages are there. I am hearing some noises. Does anyone needs to say something? If you please, can you mute your camera, your microphones? One of your microphones is open. If you please, you can just simply mute it. Okay.
Khalid, I'm muted also. Please, can you open your mic?
Okay.
Khalid? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So another feature was what I told you about was the computer vision. Another one is the natural language processing. It is the capabilities within AI for a computer to analyze or interpret written or spoken languages and respond in a kind, which means that I can now talk to the computer, whether in voice, whether in writing, and it can also in a human manner, which is the natural language processing. What I mean by natural language is the language that we use. Even if it is English, Arabic, any language, French, Chinese, Japanese, we have now coverage for most of the used languages in a way that we can talk to the computer in a way that we talk to each others, like not using Google in a key phrase or keywords. Like when I go to Google, I might start typing something in order to answer it. That's the difference between Google and other services like the ChatGPT or the Bing chat. We can now talk to the computer, as I told you. We can talk or write, and it answers us in a generative way when a natural language processing. Let me just, in order to break some of the ice and not to feel bored, let me show you something related to what I am talking about, which is the Bing chat. Now I would open a new Edge window. This is a new Edge window, as you can see. And here I would type bing.com. As you can see, this is bing.com. When I'm talking about natural language, here is the language that I use to talk to Copilot, which is the product where I can, if I like, type my question. As you can see here, I can type whatever I want instead of writing a word in Google to search for something. We'll see the differences in a quick demonstration. As I can see here, I need to ask something about anything, like let's say global heat. I would type global heat here, and I will get answers from Google and keywords. Then I would need to fetch the answer that suits me the best. As you can see here, it is offering me different resources for this keyword I used in Google. This is the main difference. In Google or in any search engine, I just use keywords. While if I am using the Microsoft Copilot or the ChatGPT, I'm going to use, or I can use, what is called the generative AI in order to use the natural language I use. So I would tell, please tell me about global warming. So the AI would start answering me as if a human being is doing so. So as you can see, it will start answering the question as I wanted. It is very contained within the question that I have asked. It is defining the global warming. It is talking about the causes of global warming, the effects, and whatever. Even if I need to ask more about anything within this answer that I had from the Copilot, which is like a human being talking to me, which is the natural language, that is the example I'm talking about, I can go, if you, would you tell me more? Would you tell me more about the main causes? I will commit a typing mistake, intended typing mistake, so it can automatically understand what I'm talking about, and it will stay in the context of what I'm talking about. It understands that I'm talking about the global warming and continues to answer to me. Even if I need to translate something directly, I would ask it, can you please translate the last answer into Arabic? I am typing this. I even can press on the chat on the microphone, and I can ask it to do that without using the keyboard. As you can see, it's directly translating my question into the language that I wanted. I can choose any language that I want. So this is what we call the natural language processing. It is the way where we can talk to the computer in a natural language or the language that we use. Another feature, which is called the document intelligence. Document intelligence is dealing or working with documents. We have different documents. We have some documents that we use daily, and we have some technologies within AI that can interpret and extract information from these documents. Like if I have large volumes of data that are structured or even unstructured. What do I mean by structured or unstructured? Structured documents are documents that follow the same schema or the same structure, like invoices, like bills coming from different resources. If I have different resources coming or different bills coming from different resources, what is the common between them is the form of a bill or an invoice. All or most of the invoices have mainly the same structure. So if I need to manipulate or extract or read information on these structured forms, I can create models, or I already have some ready-made models that can read data from these documents, and I can use the data I am extracting from these models in order to use them in other solutions, like comparing or getting results or getting reports from these resources. So I have also this feature, which is called the document intelligence. I can manipulate or process any type of documents, whatever types of documents you can have. Even if I have a book, I can scan this book and use this book as I want, and I can do whatever I want with this book or group of books. I can have them for me, and I can do whatever I want with this. Another solution, which is the knowledge mining. The knowledge mining. What is the knowledge mining? It is like a capability within the AI to extract information from large volumes of often unstructured data to create a searchable knowledge store. What do I mean by that? If I have large data coming in any type of files that I have. Maybe they are text, maybe they are videos, maybe they are images, or maybe they are a complex of these or a collection of these types. I can ingest this information and start mining data from these files, whatever type of files do I have. All I need is to ingest this information into a storage, start applying my differentiations or algorithms that I want in order to get information from these large data that are stored in storage, and then I get whatever I want from this. Another feature, or which is called the generative AI, which that can create the content from natural or different resources, including the natural code, the images, the coding, and more, which is, let's say, describe it. It is like exactly what the ChatGPT can do, or what the Copilot can do, which is I can ask it to generate things for me. I can ask it to generate an image. I can ask it to generate a code, or I can ask it to generate many other things. And allow me also now to just show you a small demonstration about what I am saying here. We used it for natural processing or natural language processing. I talked or I chatted with this Copilot or with the ChatGPT. Now I'm going to ask it to generate something for me. Let me start with a small example, asking it to generate a picture for me. Let me ask it to generate a logo for an IT company called IT Solutions. Let's see what it will do. Now it will be going through one of the models that it was built on, and it will start generating the image I asked for. So Copilot is saying that I'll try to create that. As you can see, it is working now. It is using one of the models that is called DAL. This model is specialized in image generation, and it will now do whatever it can to give us or answer us or generate what I asked for. Let's give it some seconds in order to see what is it going to show us. While waiting, as you can see, we can have some editing for the image that is going to be displayed here. I would ask it to, it is giving me some suggestions here. Add some circularity or circuity elements to the logo, use a sleek font for IT solution, incorporate binary code or computer chips. Sometimes the generation might be fast, or sometimes it might not generate something. All you need to do is to try it again. And this is because of the huge requests on the Copilot models that are being used. And other times it's because of the internet connectivity or internet speed. I will just give it some more seconds before I try something else. Let's give it some more seconds, or else I would ask it to generate a code for adding two variables. It is a simple code, and I would ask it to do that in Python. Something is going to appear now. It is almost appearing. Let's just wait it. As you can see here, it is using the designer, and it should appear very soon. Let's just give it some more seconds, else we can move to the other sample I'm talking about. Okay, here it is giving me the suggestions that I was talking about. Here is the IT solution. It used some colors, it used some things. I can ask it, as I told you, here are the suggestions that I can do. Even I can ask it to do things other than that, like change the color into maybe green or to red or whatever colors that you prefer. Use some rectangles or squares. maybe just use other fonts, whatever that I want. This is an example what I can do with generative AI. And here is another thing is that I needed to give me a code. It wrote a simple code. I can go with complex codes. And I need to tell you that now developers are using the ChatGPT or the Copilot in order to help themselves create codings in order to save time. This is not cheating. If I use my Copilot or ChatGPT in a wise way, it would help me improve, not to cheat in order to do things with that. It will help me improve my work. It will help me do my work faster. So use it wisely. Don't just be like putting all the job on that. Make it a help, not something as a replacement for the work that you might be doing. So this is in general what I'm talking about, or what I needed to explain related to the AI fundamentals. I would like to hear from you until now. How is everything going with you? And please, on the chat, or let me know your signs. We have some Q&A here. Of course, the session will be recorded. Sure. So if you have anything that you would like to say or ask about before I continue, please let me know. Okay. So as I told you in the Q&A, you have the place to drop your comments and say whatever that you want. Okay, then let me go in with the next slide. In order to create any solution or to use any of the already created solution, you should know that AI, or the AI, generative AI, or anyone needs to work with AI should be following these responsible AI rules or principles. Any AI-based solution should follow what is here on the screen. The solution should be walking or following these principles. So when I say I need to have principles like, let's start with the first one, which is the fairness. Fairness. What do I mean by fairness? When I say that I am using AI and an AI solution should follow the fairness principle, it means that it should treat all people fairly. It doesn't build its decision based on any bias or any differences between people, not to their religion, not to their race, not to their color, not to anything. It should follow the fairness rules. For example, if you create a machine learning model that supports a loan approval, now we are going to think about this. I am creating a model that will support loan approval. The model should predict whether the loan should be approved or denied. So I'm giving the ability to the AI in order to decide if the loan will be approved or denied. So it should not take into consideration any bias. So if it would be based on gender or ethnicity or any other factors that I told you about, then we should cancel that. It should be looking for the financial status, for the things that are complete or something that should be taken into consideration, not other things like, as I told you, the color or the religion or authenticity or other factors that result in unfair advantage or disadvantage to specific people or groups of applicants. So this is the fairness. The second important one is the reliability and safety. Whenever I build a solution that is going to be driving or be the engine of the solution, it should be performed on reliability and safety. One of the most important examples consider is an AI software system for automobiles or auto vehicles, which is driving a car maybe, or running an airplane, or running any device that is being driven by AI. So it should be very tested. It should be very reliable. It should include all the tests needed before making or giving the power of this AI to drive or to move this device, because it will reflect dangers or unreliability of these systems can show or give very risk or show high risks to human or to the people that are working with that. So reliability and safety is a very important feature or rule that should be followed. We have also the privacy and security, which is a very important feature also. So AI systems should be secure and should respect privacy. Data within any solution should not be exposed to people that are not allowed to see. So the AI system should be very responsible about the privacy and security. Inclusiveness, what is the inclusiveness? So AI systems should empower everyone and engage people. AI should bring benefits to all parts of society, regardless of physical ability, regardless of their gender, regardless of their sexual orientation, ethnicity, or other factors. So AI is for everybody. It includes everybody. One important thing also is the transparency. The transparency means that I should understand everything related to that solution. I should be fully aware of the purpose of the system, how it works, what limitations does it have, and what can it do from A to Z. So it should be transparent because the user should know this solution, what are the cons of this solutions, and or what are the advantages or disadvantages of this solution. The last one, which is the accountability, which is a very important factor because people should be accountable for AI system. Designers and developers of these solutions should work within a framework of governance and organizational principles that ensures that this solution meets the ethical and logical standards are very clearly defined. So we have these features or these principles, let's call them principles: fairness, reliability, privacy, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability. Any AI solution should be following this. I guess I have a question, please, because I am not always seeing all the questions. Let me see the question. Here we have a question coming. Is it on the chat? Where is the question? Let me just check on that.
Khalid, I can help you if you want.
Yeah,
So the
please.
question was, can you please re-explain reliability again?
Reliability?
Yes.
Okay. What do I mean by reliable? Let me explain that simply. Now we have different automotives or cars or devices that are using AI as an engine or as a controller. Let's take, for example, the Tesla cars. Okay? The Tesla cars, as you can see, we can sit on this car and ask it to drive us into a place, from a destination or from a place to another. Here, the engine or the AI is the pilot, which means that I am putting myself in a device or in a machine or in an automotive that is driving this car from one place into another. I'm driving this car. I'm sitting on this car that is being driven by an AI. So the AI is responsible about following the rules, like any rules for transportation rules, and making sure it stops on the correct places. It sees the people that are passing on the streets. It's like sitting behind someone driving. So if you are sitting beside a full qualified driver, you wouldn't fear about anything. I see here it is the inclusiveness, not the reliability. Am I
Yeah, this
right?
is another one.
Okay.
So in the Q&A, reliability, and here
Okay.
inclusiveness.
Okay. Now reliability. So I need to make sure that the person driving this car is an experienced person. He or she can drive safely, knows everything related to rules, and wouldn't expose me or him or herself to danger. This is what I want AI exactly to do. I am giving the AI the power or the ability or the role of driving. So I would need that AI is 100% reliable. I can rely on to get the best result and to get these results safe and secure. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what is related to reliability. So heading back into inclusiveness, when I need to create an application or a solution based on AI, this solution should be for everyone. Some people might have like physical uh, problems in seeing and hearing or whatever. I should consider people that are, even if they are having such issues, maybe they are have physical disabilities. I need to make sure that this solution can include all of these. Unless I'm talking about a solution that is built specially for disabilities, so for some certain disabilities, like an application called Seeing AI, this application is used in order or built basically in order to help people with seeing disabilities. It can help them to as if they are seeing. All they need to do is to install this ACAI on their mobile phones and have the camera and start walking, and the AI would tell them everything surrounding them. So this is a specially made solution for the people with disabilities in seeing. What inclusiveness means that when I need to give the power to people to use an AI solution, I should take into consideration that anybody or anyone can use this solution. It is not specially made for someone unless I am creating a category or a solution for a special category for people. But when I am creating an AI solution that is for everyone to use, I should consider that everyone can use. This is what is meant by inclusiveness. It includes everyone. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, thank you, Khalid.
You are most welcome. Now let's head to introduction to Azure Machine Language. We are now heading to our Azure Machine Learning solution. This is the solution we are going to use from now on. This is the feature in AI we are going to use within our project or sessions. So we should understand what is machine learning. And before I go with machine learning, I have a term here, what is called Azure Machine Learning. So before I go to the machine learning, I should explain to you what is Azure. Azure is a portal created by Microsoft that enables us to create different resources on the cloud. What do I mean by that? And what do I mean by different resources? And what do I mean by on the cloud? Let me first take you to the Azure. I would again open a new window here, a new Edge or Chrome, whatever. And all I need to do is to log on to Azure. How do I log to Azure? I need to have an account in Azure, and I would type portal.azure.com. As you can see, this is the URL that will take me to the Azure portal. Now, I will press on enter. In order to have accessibility to Azure, I should have a subscription within Azure. So here I have my own subscription. If you can see, this is the subscription I'm talking about. Here are the details. I guess you will be supported by accounts in order to access that. Please, Solange, if you have any comments about this, let us know. Regarding the way the guys that are going to use Azure, here is the portal.
So it's through the student Azure, Khalid. So let me try to grab for them the form for this Azure for student, and we'll try with them if they have access or not.
Okay, we can do that later. Now, let me just show or tell you what is here. Here we can see this portal. This portal, as you can see, is the place where we are going to start creating our project. In order to get access to this portal, we need to have a subscription. This will be done for you, or you will be having this access to this portal. But what can I do with Azure? I will show you. I can do with Azure, or I can create within the Azure environment, one second, any resource that I might need to use. What do I mean by any resource? I can start by creating a PC or a computer up to creating a very complex environment that includes different or multiple servers, computers, and other storage devices or other resources. Let me show you an example of the resources that we can create. So imagine that you need to create a full environment that includes like a data center. I'm sure that you are now in the university have what is called, I don't know if you have on-premises data center or you have a cloud data center. What is a data center? Let me show you what is a data center. I will explain that to you by pictures. Data center. Let me show you a data center. I will press here on enter. This is what is called a data center. This is an image of a data center or multiple images of data centers. As you can see here, we have what is called the cabinets. Within these cabinets, we have different servers, we have storage devices, we have a lot of things that are connected or built on here. And connected to this data centers, the computers that we are using, the switches, the cabling, the servers, whatever resources or whatever things we are using within our environment is put in a data center. Now, with the presence or with this portal that is called Azure, I can create exactly all the details that are in that data centers without the need to purchase anything. All I need is to have a computer with an internet connection, and it shouldn't be a very fast computer. You can do that with an entry-level computer. And I would need to have a subscription on Azure, which is a cloud services solution. And then I start creating my resources, I would be typing or pressing here on create a resource. As you can see, it will display the different types of resources that I can create. As you can see here, it is categorized as you can see, because I recently created an AI machine learning workspace. I will explain that later. Here I have other things or other categories that I can start creating. To make it easier for you, I would give you an example, but let's just scroll all the options that we can see. We have analytics, we have blockchain, maybe we are still foggy until now. Let's see what is here in compute. Compute is something we might be understanding. So in the compute here, I can create a compute power thing. Like, as you can see here, I can create multiple things. Let me start with the first one. Here I can create a container. I can create a Windows server, an Ubuntu server. I guess you are like here, you can see, understand what I am talking about. Even if I don't find the thing that I want from here, I can go in the search and would type virtual. As you can see, I can create a virtual machine. I can create a virtual network. I can create a virtual storage. I can even create multiple devices and resources that I might be using. I guess we have a question. Let me see that question before. We are going to use OpenAI when it comes to natural responses, or do we have to generate our own like Olama 3.2? Let's just wait for this question and you will be able to answer it by yourself. Wait and see. Let's just wait and see. Okay? Just be patient. As you can see here, I can start by creating a virtual machine. What do I mean by creating a virtual machine? It is I can create a PC and I can select the operating system. I can create a server. As you can see here, let's just see different things that I can create. Okay, I can create a virtual machine. I can create a data science virtual machine. Different things that I want to use. I will give you a small and a very quick example. Imagine that you might need to have like a small lab consisted or containing multiple computers and a network to test something. Instead of going and purchasing 3 or 4 laptops, we can just go here within our subscription and we can create 5,000-10,000 virtual machines and also create a virtual network and connect these machines into each other and work on these machines as if they are on our location, or we call it on the premise. So this environment here can give us the ability to create any resource. What is important for us within this course is the Azure Virtual Machine or the AI services. Or you can see here I would type AI. I can have what is called the AI Studio, and I can also create what is called machine learning. So I guess, let's say, still not very clear for you, but you will get the whole idea when we start working on the labs or when we start giving examples. So if I need to start a machine learning project like the project we're going to start within this course, I would need the environment that includes computers, includes data pipelines, includes different things. So instead of heading to the labs and purchasing these devices and creating services and whatever, Azure thankfully gives us the whole environment in a workspace that I would need, or that all I need to use in order to start using my Azure Virtual Machine Learning. I already created one 5 hours ago for this lab. As you can see, when I just roll or scroll over it, it gives me all the things related for that. And it also gives me some resources that might be helpful to start doing things that I want. Here is the Azure Virtual Machine learning that I have created. And within it, I have created what is called the workspace that will give me all the things that I might need to create the virtual project, the machine learning project that I want. So here with Azure Machine Learning, now I can start working with the project that I might need. Again, thanks to Azure, this is the Azure portal. This is where I am going, or we are going to start working with our project, and we can start doing the things that we need to be using. Let me see if I have, we are going to use OpenAI. Any other questions I didn't answer? Let me see on the Q&A. I have something. Do the project have to be a group project or a cloud? I join it by 1-2 students. I didn't get the meaning of the question really. If you please, if Solange get this.
For the hackathon, you can have it in a group. Now we are just introducing to you how you can pitch it using Azure. But during the hackathon, it will be on 2 days. We will announce it. We will send it to you the email, and it can be a group work. The recording will be available. Don't worry.
What
Okay,
would I
Khaled,
do
please.
without you, Solange? Thank you.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so let's head back again into our presentation. So here, as you can see, this is what is Azure Machine Learning. So Azure Machine Learning is a cloud server or service for accelerating and managing the machine learning project life cycle, which means that this is the place where I can start a machine learning project. The machine learning projects we are going to use within our course is the video manipulation. We are going to start creating this project. We are going to ingest or get the videos that we need to work with. Then we are going to have some steps like how do we want this machine learning to start learning? We should give it the algorithm that we need to use. We should start dividing the videos into frames, labeling these frames, and start giving the machine learning or giving it the knowledge on how we wanted to extract our information. I can give you a quick example of that. Let's imagine I have a big company like they are renting cars. This company works on different areas of the world, and in each country of this or each branch in each country, they have lots of car rentals. They rent cars in different seasons, in different days, in different locations. And we need to get what is called expectations for the next years, maybe based on how fast they are renting, or maybe what type of cars are the mostly rented, whatever I need to have. Here I can get what is called a machine learning project that will take this information from different countries' reports, and it will start manipulating the data that it wants and giving us and expecting results that will be given. This is one example of machine learning. I can use multiple things related to machine learning. How Azure Machine Learning works, as I told you, we need to have, first thing is to have an account. The first thing we need is to have an account within Azure. Then we're going to create this Azure service that is called machine learning service. We are going to build a model. This is the first step. Don't worry about anything because we are going to do all of these on hands. So no worries. I'm just explaining the steps in order for you to be clear with that. So we're going to use a training model or build a model. We're going to automate the machine learning. We're going to deploy model. We can manage and monitor models, and we can also collaborate with each other in order to see how this model is performing. And after all of that, whenever we created a model, the model we're going to work on is the video processing model. We first will create the machine learning, then we'll give it the way that we want it to work, which is the algorithm that we need. Then we'll start manipulating the data coming from these videos. And after we test and get the results that we want, we have what is called the testing or result coming from these models. Then after we are satisfied that this model is very well trained, and it is giving what we are expecting from that model, we can then publish this model. We can publish it as a service. We can publish it as a web application. We can integrate it in other services. And these steps, we are going to see how we can do it, and we are going to do that. Then we are good to use this Azure machine learning solution that we have created. Until now, is everything clear for you guys? Let me just make sure that everything is clear. Don't worry about asking anything, even if you drop questions.
We have a question, I guess.
Okay, let me see.
Someone raised his hand.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay.
On the chat,
okay, no questions. It's fine.
Okay. So as I told you, these are some steps we are going to use. As you can see here, we have things that are the Azure Machine Studio. This is the studio that we're going to use. Let me just show that to you in a second. Guys, just give me 1 second because... Okay. Here is what we're talking about. Okay, here, as you can see, this is the workspace that I have created. Then, as you can see on the bottom, we have the studio. The studio is the place where I have all the tools that I need to create a machine learning and start working with it. I would press on this studio. And wait for it to launch. As you can see here, this is the Azure Machine Studio. Take things easy. Don't worry about too many buttons. They are made for us in order to help us. As you can see here, within this studio, we can have ready-made models. So as you can see here, these are models that are ready-made for us in order to use. As you can see, here are the models, and you can see many models that are available. As you can see here, all I need to do is select the model that I want. As you can see here are the types or the titles of these models. Here we have web classification, Q&A on your data. I will explain it or read what is written. Use LLM and data from your own indexed files to ground multi-round question and answering capabilities. If you have like a book, let's say we have a book related to chemistry, and you need to create some example of questions related to chapters, related to categories, related to anything within that book, or multiple books or different resources. I'm just giving a book as an example. You can just create this, use this model, and just the information, which is the book that you want to use, and AI will help you creating Q&As based on this book or group of books. This is very beneficial for teachers or for maybe students who need to do anything or to review their information, do some tests that we might need to do as an example. Here we have the model catalog. As you can see here, I would say thank you. It is 10. I love Azure so much, so I will give it the highest rate. As you can see here, we have different models. This is the ChatGPT model, the one that is being used. You can create your own ChatGPT and integrate it with your own applications or services. As you can see here, we have different models. The ones we are going to talk about, we have also the notebooks. We can just cite some coding within these notebooks. Maybe later you would be related or creating something with that. Here is the automated machine learning job. This is where we are going to work a bit. As you can see, all we need to do is to start a new automated machine learning job. Give it the details that you want. It will have to select the algorithm, will have to select some new things, as you can see here, what we'll call this experiment, and a lot of things that we might need to fill, and we'll be understanding all that because we are going to do everything related to that in hands. Here we can use the designer, which is a drop and drag and drop, which is an easy way to give us the ability to work with that. Here are the assets, the data. Where are the data coming from? I can create data stores. These are the places that will hold the data we are going to use within our projects. We have also the pipelines. The pipelines are the online or the always coming resources. Maybe I have, let's give a quick example about that. I have a repository somewhere, maybe on GitHub, maybe on DevOps, and this repository is collecting information from different resources or different collection sensors, like weather sensors that are in different spaces in the world or places in the world, and they are dropping data. I would put a storage for this information and create a pipeline to support information to my storage, and it will also be doing lots of things. We have lots of things, environment, endpoints, and a lot of things that we might be saying. So this is what I was talking about in Azure Machine Learning. Our journey starts here. It doesn't end here. We have a lot of things that we are going to see. With this, we are going to see the pipelines, the data assets, the labeling. This is what I was talking about. What Azure Machine Learning gives us, it gives us the ability to work in teams. We have to create machine learning ops, responsible machine learning. We have what is called the ongoing predictions. When I give a model or create a model would always be working and giving us predictions and forecasting, like the example I told you about the car rental company. And as I told you, it can be integrated with other services within Azure. Okay, I would love to hear now from you, since we have still 1 minute. If you have any questions, I want to say again, please drop these questions on the Q&A, and I would give the time to Solange if she needs to say anything before we say goodbye for today and we meet on Wednesday. If you have anything, please let me know.
Thank you, Khaled. Can we have this link in the chat?
I will send you all the links related to all the resources here. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
This one you need?
Yeah.
I will send it
So
right
that we
now.
can test their knowledge. Or this
No
will
problem.
take them to MS Learn.
Yes, it will take us to MS Learn, and they will review what they have seen.
Perfect. At least they will review the content for today. Okay, perfect.
This is the resource, and here it is on the chat box. chat box.
Amazing.
Okay.
So thank you for attending. We divided the sessions into 1 hour so that we are not overwhelming you. Stay tuned because we will be sharing with you an email regarding the hackathon. These sessions will prepare you to the hackathon. The hackathon is with Mada. The aim from the hackathon is to train a model about video data set around Qatar Sign Language, and the student or the group with the highest accuracy rate will win the competition. We have a lot of nice awards awaiting you. So yeah, I would like to advise you to attend all these sessions. Mr. Khalid will record them and will share it back with me. We will create like a sway with all the links for each of the sessions. So if you weren't able to make it on time, you will be able to attend the recording, but we really advise you to attend because you will have the chance to ask Mr. Khalid any question that you had in mind. Okay, thank you, Khalid, for your time today. Thank you, student, for your time
Thank you so
today.
much. Thank you, everyone.
And I guess see them on Wednesday, correct, Khalid?